Good morning. So we've really been working hard on advancing our understanding of Python microbit programming. So far with the microbit, we've seen a lot of cool capabilities of this tiny little board. It's great to be able to do fun and interesting things as individuals, but one of the things we really haven't touched too much on is doing things with others. Now, we did the tug of war game yesterday or in the previous days where you had to be able to use one microbit to team up with each other and play against each other using the microbit. However, we haven't really gotten the microbits to work together or communicate and grow together. That's what we're going to start working on over the next couple of lessons. So the designers of the microbit knew this and include a truly unique addition to the microbit, a way to communicate wirelessly. Okay, so without the wires, without the computers, we can actually make the microbits communicate. In fact, my 7th and 8th graders are actually having the microbits send messages to each other very similar to text messages. Okay, now including with the microbit is a tiny chip that has a radio that supports Bluetooth wireless communications. So we're actually going to be able to communicate with each other's microbits using this Bluetooth capability. Now, when we did some microbit programming in the past, we referred to it as radio, and that's kind of what it's referred to in the make code area. However, it is Bluetooth and not a radio signal. But within the program, it's going to be referred to as radio. The little radio is much like the one found in most phones, tablets, and laptops. You can actually program the microbit through this Bluetooth link, but it is even slower than just the drag and drop process, okay? So another use for this Bluetooth radio is the ability to microbits to talk to one another and exchange data. So I could have a Bluetooth device like on an iPad and connect to my Bluetooth device from my iPad to the microbit, and I should be able to program it from there. However, there's a lot of issues with this. It's very slow. It's much easier to instead use this Bluetooth capability to connect with other microbits to make some really cool things happen. First, we need to learn the new commands to control the Bluetooth radio built into the microbit. The first and most important is the import radio. This line should be placed at the top of the program. It should be required line for the microbit import. So if you're not already there, you need your microbit. You need your microbit plugged into your computer. You really don't need to put the batteries in. We're mostly going to be keeping our microbits plugged into the computer today. I am going to take out my microbit. It might be famous last words that we don't need the batteries. We'll see. So down here at the bottom is Python for microbit. And here is our program. Now I'm going to take everything from below line 2 and I'm going to delete it. Just a reminder that everything below or everything after a pound sign is just a note and the computer cannot read this. So I'm going to call this Bluetooth connect. Boom. Okay. Now, we know that this line right here is from microbit import asterisk. What that means is it's taking the entire microbit library, and it's saving it onto your microbit. Okay. Now, that is a large amount of information. Now, your radio takes up a large amount of information on your microbit. So instead of having our whole library there for just a simple program, what we're going to do is I'm going to delete that asterisk. And I'm going to tell it exactly what I want the microbit to know. Okay, so instead of knowing the whole French language or the whole Spanish language or the whole Mandarin language, it's only going to know exactly what it needs to know. So for Spanish, you could know hello, which is hola, goodbye, which is adios, thank you, which is gracias, you're welcome, salud, and then bathroom, which is baño. Okay, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know those important 5 things. Okay, so from microbit import, we're going to do button underscore A. So we want it to know what button underscore A is. So find the library, download that. We want it to know what button underscore B is. And we want it to know what display is. And finally, we want it to know what sleep is, okay? So we want to be able to only take this information. This is the only information it really needs. So we should from there. Now, I'm going to hit the next line, and then I'm going to say import radio, okay? So now what should be downloaded into my microbit should be all the information it needs to know about button A, all the information it needs to know about button B, all the information it needs to know about display, all the information it needs to know about the word sleep, and then everything about radio, okay? So this is going to take us some space up on our microbit. Now, will the program still work if I put an asterisk here? Yes, the program will still work, but as we get into more advanced programs, we want to be able to tell our microbit to only remember the things that we want it to remember. Okay, now, first thing we have to do when you get into a car, as soon as you open the door to your car, the radio doesn't turn on. You have to turn the radio on for you to actually be able to hear it. So I'm going to do radio dot on, open close parentheses, or crab face, okay? So I've imported the radio, everything is about radio, and now I've turned the radio on. Now, if I connect my microbit right here, and I flash it, I do not have a line error. I don't have anything on my screen. The main reason I don't have anything on my screen is because I haven't told it to do anything. All it's done is downloaded the information and turned the radio on. That's all that's happened. Okay, so now we need to start doing some more things. Okay, so we're going to say while true. Now, again, I said this every time I type this. I could do 2 greater than 1 because 2 is always greater than 1. I could do 4 less than 5 because 4 is always less than 5. What I'm going to leave it as is while true. So while is W, lowercase w, true is a capital T, and then a colon to end that. And then I'm going to hit enter, and it's automatically going to indent my message. If button underscore A period was underscore pressed. So we did something like this with the tug of war programs and some of the other programs we're using are buttons. So if button A was pressed, I want it to radio dot send. I want to send a message. The message I want to send is A. No period. Okay. So that means if I press the A button on my microbit, it's going to send A every time I press my A button. Okay. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to hit backspace. I'm now lined up with the if. If button underscore B period was underscore pressed, okay, radio send. Guess what message we're going to send? B. Okay. Boom. So now I've taken my messages to where if I press the A button, it's going to send the A message. If I press the B button, it's going to press the B. It's going to send B as the message. Now I press download. Again, nothing's happening on my microbit. I can press A all I want, and all that's happening is it's going A, but it is digital information. My brain cannot comprehend it, okay? My brain cannot comprehend digital information. It can only comprehend analog information. My voice that you're hearing right now, that's analog. That noise you just heard, that's analog. What you can read on my screen, that's analog. Your brain can understand it. What your brain cannot understand is digital information, the Wi-Fi in the room. It's there. You can't see it, hear it, or touch it. Okay. If I press the A button on my microbit, it's sending the letter A through digitally, but there's nothing there to actually understand it. So what I need to do now is I need to get my microbit ready to start taking that digital information and preparing it as analog information, okay? So incoming, I'm going to make incoming a variable, and incoming is whatever my radio receives. Now, be very careful when you're spelling receive. This is an issue that gets a lot of my students, even the 7th and 8th graders. I know you hear the saying I before E except after C. However, so RECEIVE, that. So basically, anytime a microbit receives a digital information, it's going to save that digital information as the variable incoming. Okay, so if incoming is not none. Okay, so is not none. That means not none, which means if there's something there. Okay, so not none means if you receive a message. Okay, if incoming is not none, colon, display dot show. Now we told it needed to know what display meant right up here at the top, so it knows what display means. I want you to display a string. A string of what? Well, my string I want is whatever the incoming message is. Okay, cool, huh? And then we want it to, I'm going to hit backspace. I want it to sleep for 300. So that'd be 300 milliseconds, or about less than a third of a second. And then I want it to display dot clear. Okay, so what this program will do, I'm going to download it. I'm going to see if I have a line error. I do not have a line error. Now, if I press the A, nothing's happening with my microbit. That's because I only have one microbit, okay? Now, if there's somebody else with a microbit in the room, which there should be, you should have some people at your desk or someone else in the room. What you should be able to do is when you press the A button, A should appear on their microbit. When you press the B button, B should appear on their microbit. In fact, if I change A to hello and B to goodbye, and then I flash this, and now when I press A and I press B, when I press A, if there's another microbit in here, it would be getting hello on their microbit. If I press B, it should be getting goodbye on its microbit, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video. I want you to find someone else who is done with this part of the program. I want you to type your own messages right here and right here. So I don't want A, I don't want B, I want your own message. Just 1 to 2 words, please, no more than 1 to 2 words. And then I want y'all to practice sending the message back to forth, okay? Back and forth with each other. So you're going to pause the video, change what happens when you press the A button, change what happens when you press the B button. Excuse me. And then when y'all have practiced and actually sent messages back and forth, then play the video again. Okay, so I'm assuming that you did what I asked you to do. You paused the video, you changed what you wanted to do in the programming, you worked with another student and actually did that program. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Please follow these instructions carefully. I am going to disconnect my microbit. I'm going to go up here to where the tab is up here at the top. I'm going to right-click that tab, and then I'm going to click duplicate. Now, when I do that, what that does is it gives me a brand new program to work with, but I still have my old program right here, okay? Now, I'm going to do everything again. I'm going to delete everything after 2. Now, what we're going to talk about next is flashing a microbit, okay? Now, when we flash a microbit with this program, we're downloading a program and telling the microbit to do something based off the program that we're downloading, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to make our microbit wait for the term flash to appear to it. So we're going to send the word flash to another microbit, and when that microbit gets the word flash, it's going to do something cool, okay? So, excuse me. I'm sorry. This activity is kind of cool because it introduces some random behavior. A microbit can be random. A lot of times I tell you, if something's wrong with your microbit programming, it's probably you. However, we're going to do some random stuff with our microbit. So in the import segment, we're going to include the random library, and I'll show you that in a second. And this allows the microbit to basically roll a dice. So the microbit will have a 10% chance of waiting 500 milliseconds, which is half a second, and then sending flash to all the other microbits in your area. Okay. This behavior is going to give a group of the microbits the appearance of a group of fireflies in the room. So we're going to title this program Fireflies. Okay. Now, I'm going to go here. I'm going to highlight line 2 for my other program. I'm going to highlight line 2 here. Sorry, I'm going to copy it from this program, and I'm going to paste it into this program. Now, I also wanted to import radio again. And like I said just a few minutes ago, we're going to tell it to import random. Okay? And I'm going to go right up here after sleep. And I also want image. Okay? So, again, if I'm going too fast, pause the video and do what you need to do. So now I'm on line 6. So this will be a little bit advanced. That's okay. I'm going to kind of run through it. Later on in the year, you'll kind of understand how this works. But what you need to be focusing on right now is just making sure you have this typed up correctly. So I'm going to do a staple or an open staple or open bracket. This is what's next to the P button on your keyboard. And then I'm going to do image, open close parentheses. Notice how I have a capital I on image, period, invert, open close, multiplied, open parentheses, I divided by 9, close parentheses, 4I in range, 9, comma, -1, comma, -1, close parentheses, close staple. Okay? Again, if I'm going too fast, pause the video and fix what you need to do. Okay? So now I'm on line 7. I'm going to turn the radio on. Radio dot on, open close parentheses. Okay? Now, while true, if button underscore A period was underscore pressed, and it knows what button A is because we told it to import that information up here. Open close parentheses colon. I want it to radio dot send word flash. Okay. I want it to send the word flash. Okay. Now, incoming. We're not going to do anything for the B button in this program. I'm going to say incoming equals radio dot receive, open close parentheses. So like we did in our last program, we're going to take whatever message that's coming in and save it as the word incoming. And we're going to say if incoming is equal, absolutely equal to, so that's 2 equal signs, word flash. So if my microbit receives the word flash, I want it to sleep for a random amount of time. So random random. So it's going to pick a random integer or a random number between 50 milliseconds and 350 milliseconds. And then I want it to display dot show flash, comma, delay equals 100, comma, wait equals false. Okay. Again, some really complex stuff here. It's going to make a really cool program. I will admit it right now that some of this is an advanced topic for now. However, what it's going to come out to is going to be pretty cool. So if random dot randit int, there we go, 50 comma, oh sorry, I'm just out of it, 0 comma 9 equals 0. So it's going to randomly pick a number between 0 and 9. If the number it picks is 0, I want it to sleep for 500 and then radio.send flash. Okay, so here's how this program works. Okay, I'm going to go all the way back up here to the top. Flash is going to make your screen do a flash, like a wave on your screen. Okay, if you press the A button, it's going to send the term flash out. Okay, so it's going to make everybody's microbit in the room flash when you send that microbit out. Okay, so if it receives the term flash, it's going to display a flash. It's going to look like a family of fireflies going off in the room. Okay, now here's the thing: after your um, after your microbit flashes, it's going to randomly pick a number between 0 and 9. If it picks the number 0, it will send out flash again and make all the microbits flash again, almost like an echo. If you've ever been in a large area and you went echo, then you probably heard echo, echo, echo. But you're not going to have an echo everywhere you go. There's a 0 and 9 chance, 0 to 9 chance that you will have an echo. And 0, it has to pick 0 for you to have that echo. Okay, so I'm going to connect my microbit to this program. I'm going to hit flash. Oops, I have a line error. Line 16. Yeah, I'm going to open my serial to see what the issue is. Invalid syntax. Oh, I need 2 parentheses right there. My bad. Okay. Flash. Okay, no more line errors. Now I'm pressing the A button. Nothing's happening on my screen, but it's sending out the word flash to everybody in my room. However, there's no one in my room. Okay. Now, if you're in my classroom, and we should have multiple students doing this at the same time, then you should have your screen light up. Now, what you will need to do is pick kind of one student in the class to press their A button, and then it's going to cause all the microbits to light up, and then there's a small chance that all the microbits might light up again. Now, think about it. If when you press the A button, everybody's microbit lights up, and then there's a small chance that everybody's microbits will light up a second time with what's called the echo. So if you're only doing it with 2 people, how likely do you think it's going to be that the microbit you send it to is going to pick 0 between 0 and 9? Not very likely. Okay. What if I added 5 microbits? Okay. Does the chance get better? Yes. And if I add 10 microbits, the chance gets better. So if you're in a small room, you're probably not going to have an echo. But the larger your room or the more people we have using this program, the better of a chance that you're going to have an echo, which means after you press the A button, everybody's microbits light up. And then a second later, everybody's microbit will light up again. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. You're going to turn in 3 screenshots to me. 3. Screenshot number 1 is this program right here from our first tab that we did. Excuse me. I need to be able to see that you did the from microbit import with just those things right there. And then I want to see what your messages were for the A button and for the B button. The second picture I want you to turn in is a screenshot from the top of your program for the fireflies. And then I need a screenshot of the bottom of your program for the fireflies. So that is 3 pictures, 3 screenshots that should be turned in for this lesson. One is this lesson with your own messages for the A button, your own message for the B button. Remember, no more than 2 words. And then picture number 2 will be the top of the Firefly program. Picture number 3 will be the bottom of the Firefly program. Okay? If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please type them as a private message. I understand that y'all are having fun putting messages in the classroom. However, please leave it as a private message. And I miss y'all. I look forward to seeing y'all. Y'all should be seeing me very soon. Monday, the 9th, will be my day back, which I'm very much looking forward to. So y'all stay safe and healthy.